Jonas Ajete seem to be the trusted centre-back pair in here, with Marvin Senaya of Auxerre also starting as a right back, and Gideon Mensah in there. Thomas Partey, who was not played enough games for VRL in recent times, is back together with Elisha Usu in the middle, and Fatai Shahaku, who had a brilliant season with the Leicester City also in there. Kamaldeen Sulemana has a lot to prove because he's been with the Black Stars for 6 years, and many are saying that he has to improve his performance. Prince Kwabena Edu, when Ghana played in that Karen Cup, he was one of the players that a lot of people talked about. His movement of the ball, and we saw that against Austria and Germany. He is also in there together with Jordan Ayew, who is the captain of the side. So pretty much a 3-4-3 formation from Carlos Queiroz, and it's going to be a pretty interesting one. For Wales, they didn't qualify for the World Cup. They were involved in the playoffs against Bosnia, and they were knocked out on penalties, but they have some very good players in their ranks as well, because they have the likes of Joe Rondon, Ethan Ampadu, formerly of Chelsea, Dan James, formerly of Manchester United, also in that. Today I'm doing this with Oreku Ampofu. My name is Mutalaya. Oreku, I mean, pretty much a straightforward lineup from Carlos Queiroz, but the three-back system, not too much of a usual from him.
Yeah, it doesn't tally, and I'm really waiting to see the game start before I really am clear on what the system would look like. I suspect it could potentially be a 4-4-2 formation, especially with Jordan and Prince there, but I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt and see how things will look. But I think it will be Gideon left back, Senaya right back, Opoku Adjete, and then in midfield, Elisha, there's Partey, and on the wing, Fatah Kamaldeen Sulemana. But let's see how the shape looks like when
so game will be kicking off in a few minutes' time at the Cardiff City Stadium in Wales. Remember that Wales have not played an African side since 1998, where they were thrashed by 4-0 by Tunisia. And interestingly, Greg Bellamy, who is the coach of Wales, was involved in that game.
Yeah, I've been listening to Bellamy in the past few weeks. It's been a difficult time for him. Trying to court belief in Wales after failing to qualify for the World Cup. And you can clearly see the attendance there showing that people are disappointed by not qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah, big one for them. Game would get underway in a few minutes' time. Ghana have lost all their 5 friendly games that they've played in recent times. Lost to Japan, lost to South Korea. Then we had a thrashing from Austria, lost to Germany, and recently Mexico also beaten Ghana. Not looking good for us in terms of the friendly game. So this is a pretty good one. Game gets underway, ball back to goalkeeper Dallo, who goes long. Let's go up. Ball with Wales, trying to have a good start. Thomas gets onto the ball. Back to William. Thomas again, sends it across, but beautifully dealt with by the Black Stars. Jordan Ayew chases this one. Goalkeeper Dallo comes out and clears the ball. Good intention from Jordan Ayew not to give up. Trying to chase this one down. Coach Greg Bellamy, formerly of Liverpool, Manchester City, a legend as far as the Premier League is concerned, today is the head coach of the Wales national team. They didn't qualify for the World Cup, the Black Stars did. But then he says that this game would be a good preparatory one for them as far as the Nations League and the next Euro qualifiers are concerned. Wales trying to dictate the pace. Da Silva finds his goalkeeper Dallo, who finds Lalo, pushes the ball wide to Thomas, trying to go long. Gideon Mensah back in that left back position. You can clearly see that the intention from the Wales team is that straightforward.
Yeah, and with regards to Ghana's shape, as I did predict, it's not directly a 4-4-2. It looks more like a 4-2-3-1. Rather surprising that Prince Kwabena is in the number 10 position with Jordan leading the line, but I suspect they will be interchanging.
Of course, Wales coming forward again. Ball blocked by Jonas Ajete. Throw into Wales. Thomas leaves the ball to Da Silva. Black Stars intercept this one again. Elisha trying to find Jordan. But then Isha could lose this out. Wales back in control. Rondon pushes the ball wide to Da Silva. But then Gideon Mensah with a strong tackle there. I think that the referee judged this as illegal, and it's a free kick to Wales. Gideon Mensah coming up against Dan James is going to be a very interesting one because James has a lot of pace.
Yeah, and it's really going to, I think, test his resilience. Daniel James is one of those traditional wingers who's going to make you really earn your money.
Of course, he was coming forward again, but the Black Stars clear this one. Gideon Mensah with the ball. Finds Thomas Partey, but he's dispossessed. Black Stars are yet to settle in this one, but it's a temporal hold up because it looks like Kamaldeen Sulemana got a knock in that challenge when Ethan Ampadu came in strongly. Kamaldeen Sulemana, another of those players who has a lot to prove.
Yeah, just one goal since making his debut for the Black Stars in 2019. I think the prospects were really high for him. And genuinely, there's still Ghanaians who believe that he would be able to reach the heights that were anticipated. But things need to kick off for him, especially in the Black Stars.
Legends in the stands. Michael Lacian, 2006 World Cup, 2014, very instrumental. Then Stephen Appiah needs no introduction. Captain of the Black Stars in 2006. 2010, he was there in full. This time, he is part of the Black Stars management committee. All these legends in a camp trying to motivate the boys ahead of what could be a very, very interesting World Cup. Carlos Queiroz, I'm not sure he's really happy with what he's seen so far, but he'll be patient because the game just started. Dan James gets in behind the defense. But again, what a solid clearance from Jonas Ajete. He came under heavy criticism in the last friendly games that we played against Austria and Germany. And he also has a lot to prove, especially with the absence of Jiku and Salisu.
You're already seeing Dan James being the center of Rose's attention, really giving Gideon Mensah a headache there. Twice he's gone down the line and tried to put in a cross. And I think Wales have noticed that that could be a potential way of chance creation in this game.
Wales trying to dictate play early in this game. Gideon Mensah with Auxerre. 3 Auxerre players are in the starting lineup. They managed to survive and escape relegation. Long ball down the left to Jordan, but he was meters offside. Captain of the Black Stars playing his 3rd World Cup. Yet to get a goal in the World Cup.
Yeah, but he would be very confident, finishing as the 3rd top scorer in the CAF region and being Ghana's top scorer at the World Cup as well. I think that will definitely give him some confidence. And if you look at the situation that the Black Stars find themselves without a number of key players, I think he has to take responsibility, set pieces and penalties and all of that, and will definitely get his chance.
Great play by Marvin Senaya to buy his way out. To buy his way out of the Thomas Partey, formerly of Arsenal. Last season, he was playing in Spain for Villarreal. Black Stars trying to build patiently from the back. And it looks like it's more of a flat 4-back system and not the 3-back that we initially thought.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was the type of system that Otto tried in his last few games in the friendly against Germany and then Austria. Though he initially he changed to a back 5 in the second half of that German game. But if you look at this squad and potentially what they do have, I think this is the best setup and brings the best out of the players available.
Well, one would argue that Antoine Semenyo definitely could be a starter as well. He's had a fine season with Manchester City in the Premier League. Scored about 16 goals and was even nominated for the Premier League Player of the Season. And that is a big one for him. Jonas Ajete goes back to Lawrence Atizigi. He tries to go long to locate Jordan with the beautiful control there. Jordan Ayew pushes the ball to the right. Fatah Ishahaku casting onto his left and can unleash a powerful drive by Joe Rondon there with that block. Prince Kwabnedu. Prince Kwabnedu still on the ball, being pursued by two Wolves players. Back to Gideon Mensah. Kamaldeen Sulemana finds Thomas Partey, who locates Elisha. Jerome Opoku. Black Stars trying to put the pieces together and see if they can draw out that back line. Kamaldeen Sulemana with the pass. But it looks like the weight behind that ball was too much for Fatal Ishahaku. So far, Elisha, Thomas Partey seem to be building that connection.
Yeah, that's the best passage of the team from the Black Stars. And it all came from Jordan's holder play from that long ball. That's what happens when your striker allows the ball to stick. It helps the team move up forward and get the opportunity to move bodies up front and create chances.
Of course. And that is what we love to see from the Black Stars. Goals, goals, goals. It's been dry in the last couple of games. Jordan, captain of the team, in there leading the lines. Leicester City, going down at the end of the season. And looks like Jordan could depart. Currently, the oldest member in the team, very experienced, and we'll be looking at inspiring the Black Stars when we play our first game against Panama on June 17th. Well, putting passes together, ball with Rondon at the moment. Game at walking pace. He finds William back to Rondon. Goes through the middle to Sheeman, but ball back to Rondon. Opens it up wide to William Dan James. Again, always a threat from the right-hand side. Brought down, foul. Free kick to Wales. Prince Kwabnedu, the culprit there.
You do not want to see your striker in such a position defending the channel. And it's more or less like a striker's challenge there. Very laid back. But that's what sometimes the system demands. And it could give us a hint on what to expect from Queiroz. Number 10 already defending the left-back position.
Nico Williams winning that foul. Free kick against the Black Stars. Let's see how they're going to defend this one. Thomas behind the ball. Jonas Ajete becoming the stalwart at the back in the absence of our first choice centre-backs. Lawrence Atizigi would also look to keep a clean sheet in this one. Very important for him. He was out of the goalpost for some time, leaving it free for Benjamin Asari, but he's back into this one. Free kick to Wales, effected by Lawrence Atizigi. Comes up with that great save to ensure the game stays goalless. Well, it was a dangerous ball floated in. And I think it was Ajete, not Lawrence Atizigi, Ajete, with that clearance. With the first 11 minutes, it looks like he's been on top of his game.
Yeah, but ideally you would want a shout from the goalkeeper because he sees everything. And if he had that, then Ajete would have ducked.
Corner kick to Wales. A short one there. Wales still trying to penetrate. Long cross in there. Lawrence Atizigi pulling off that magnificent save. This time not Ajete. Atizigi with that athletic save. Oreku, because I thought Dan James was going to give Wales the lead. That was a super save from Lawrence Atizigi.
I think Atizigi used every muscle in his body there to be able to get hands on that. That was an incredible save, very acrobatic from the St. Gallen shotstopper there to ensure that the game stays goalless. But Ghana has to be wary. Wales are starting to find the formula and knowing that if they put in crosses, Ghana are going to struggle to deal with that. We've seen a number of crosses in the last few minutes, and the communication definitely has to be better.
Now, one of the major concerns going into the World Cup was the positioning of players like Prince Kwabena and Jordan Ayew. Many feel that Kwabena is more of an out-and-out number 9. Playing him from on the wings really does not get the best out of him. But this is the case where Jordan is playing down the middle and Prince Kwabena has been shifted wide. Let's see what happens. Wales coming forward again. Ball with Lalo. He finds Da Silva. So far, 12 minutes of play, and the Wales team have been on top of their game. Rondon. It looks like there are lots of Black Star players far behind the ball. I don't know the kind of system we are really playing, but it looks like we have a lot of men behind the ball and are not really pressing enough.
And
Wales,
just as you said, we saw the team trying to, move out the pitch a bit. But it's been more of a conservative approach from the Black Stars so far, which is understandable given the circumstances, the new coach and all of that.
Well, Wales coming forward again and toying with the Black Stars at the moment. Jonas Ajete, people are very close in there. It's been a tussle in the box, but Wales trying to find spaces, and Dan James's shot comes off the crossbar. Ghana hanging in there, and finally the ball is cleared. Well, Wales could have easily been ahead in this game, saved by the crossbar this time.
Yeah, and I would want to see that again. It looked like really intricate stuff from the Welsh attacking, force there. And I think that they've looked very fluid. But this all comes from the fact that Ghana have chosen to defend very deep. And so it's making it difficult for them to track the runs. And I'm struggling to see whether Atisigi got something on that as well. But I think he got a fingertip to that Dan James effort as well. And that would mean he has denied, the Leeds winger twice already.
Whoa.
In the early stages of this game.
Even the replay makes it better. That was a brilliant acrobatic save from Lawrence Atisigi to deny former Manchester United winger Dan James the opener. Still goalless at the moment. Attempt on target, 4 for Wales, just 1 for the Black Stars, and things will need to improve. Thomas coming forward, exchanging passes beautifully with Keith Moore, but it looks like the ball goes out of touch. Well, referee says ball still in play. Ghana coming forward. Thomas Partey finds Prince Kwabena. Kwabena slows down the pace, goes back to Thomas Partey. Ball now with Fatai Isahaku. Former steadfast player now with Leicester City, drags the ball wide, but ball rolls out of touch. He ran out of grass there.
Yeah, and I think Marvin Senaya wouldn't be happy with that. Covered over 70 yards to try and support Fatai Isahaku just to give an option. And in the end, Fatai chose to go down the line alone, and it was just a heavy touch. But this is the pattern for Ghana. Ghana needs to take advantage of such moments when they get the ball in the counter-attack, and they need to do more with the ball in these situations.
Of course, the last 1 minute has been all about the Black Stars. Jordan Ayew coming forward again, ball with Fatai Isahaku, goes back to Thomas Partey. Isahaku again finds Mervyn Senaya. Pepra on the ball, opens it up wide to Gideon Mensah. Gideon finds Kamaldeen Sulemana. Elisha with that long surging ball trying to find Fatai Isahaku, but goes out of touch. Carlos Queiroz can only applaud. At the moment, it's been Wales who are creating all the decent chances. Big credit to Lawrence Atisigi for pulling off that save. So far, how would you describe the performance of Mervyn Senaya?
I think it's been decent. A lot of Ghanaians had been calling for his inclusion, especially after seeing Caleb Irenchi being used at right back in the March friendlies. And I think he's held his own, but it's been generally difficult. And the problem is really coming in from the left side to
Who's
Dan
coming
James.
forward again? That was a timely challenge there from Thomas Partey. The vision for him to smell danger and run back was incredible. But Dan James giving Gideon Mensah one hell of a time.
Yeah, you don't want to be Gideon right now. Dan James he's arguably one of the fastest footballers that we've seen in recent times. Very direct. That's the thing about him. You don't nowadays you don't see a lot of right-footed wingers play on the right side and go down the line. Everyone wants to cut him, but he's a traditional type. He's going to take you down the line and run with you. And a lot of fullbacks do not like that because it means that you need to run a lot, and that's what we've seen Gideon do in the first few minutes.
Jordan Ayew with that beautiful turn there. You can see the applause from the stadium. Captain of the side finds Prince Kwabena-Edu. Prince Kwabena-Edu still on the ball. Tries to play the 1-2 with Jordan, but didn't come off. Ball with JT. Now he finds Pepera. Pepera opens up to Gideon again. Ball back with Pepera at the back. Ghana stringing passes together. Thomas going back to Ajete, who also finds Pepera. Gideon on the ball now. Kamaldeen Sulemana. It looks like he's playing more as part of that midfield too. He's more in that middle than being out wide. Kamaldeen Sulemana.
Yeah.
Great pass to Jordan Ayew. Beautiful 10. And he goes for the shot. That flies over the crossbar. And Jordan has that in his locker. He always has that beautiful 10. But this time, the finishing was poor.
Yeah, but good work from Fatal Issa. Quite an unorthodox way of controlling that ball, but he managed to still get that under control and quickly release Jordan, who made a very good run. Is with his weaker foot, and so it's understandable. But I think it's a good sequence. At least is an attack from the Black Stars and an effort just to remind Wales that Ghana still has some threats going forward.
Of course, and Wales were hoping they would qualify for the World Cup. But in the playoffs against Bosnia and Herzegovina, it didn't go as planned as they lost. Again, Dan James coming from that right. Clearly, Gideon Mensah having a tough time to deal with the former Manchester United winger. And he's what we describe as an old-fashioned number 7. I think the last time I saw a player like him has to do with Antonio Valencia of Manchester United. He's going down the right. He's opening up wide, but it's really difficult to track them down. This was the save again from Atizigi. Brilliant one. And I'm sure Gaspar, the goalkeeper's trainer, together with Fatal Dauda, will be proud of what they saw. But this time, it was a crossbar that saved Ghana. Dan James has been a threat throughout the first 20 minutes. Wales again on the ball. Da Silva goes past Fatai Shahako and sends the ball back to Rondon. He finds Nico Williams. Back to Rondon. Wales being patient with their build-up. At the moment, Ethan Ampadu has grown to become a very decent player. Remember, he has Ghanaian roots and could have easily been part of this Black Stars team. But he's now captain of Wales.
We can say that for so many players. We can say that for Jeremy Frimpong. We can say that for even Memphis Depay to some extent.
The list goes on and on and on. And these days, the GFA has launched a project to ensure they capture most of these diasporan kids at a young age before they get to the senior level, so that their integration into the Black Stars would not be a problem. Lawrence Atisigi going long. It's a tassel in the middle, but Elisha, beautiful header back to his club teammate Adoxe. Ball with Elisha again. Goes back to Opon Pepra. Pepra finds Ajete. Ajete goes back to Pepra. Ghana putting the passes together. Long one, two for Taisa Ako. Can he control? Mervin Senaya, sorry, but goes out of touch as the auxiliary right back runs back. Jerome Opoku, sorry. He has been solid so far together with Ajete at the back. Jonas Ajete plays for Wolfsburg in the German Bundesliga. His challenge in there was deemed a foul. Big one for him. He needs to cement a place in this Black Stars team ahead of the World Cup without Salisu, without Jiku. The coaches will be looking at what he can bring to the table. He was involved in the two friendly games we played against Austria and Germany, but we was coming forward again with Thomas. Cassin finds Ethan and Pedro back to Thomas. Joe Rondon finds Da Silva. Ball with Keith Amore. Wales currently dominating the game. Dan James has been the threat. The shot comes in, but a team effort and a routine save from Atizigi. So far, so good. 3 goalkeepers were selected by Coach Carlos Queiroz, Lawrence Atizigi, Joseph Annan, and Benjamin Asari of Hartlepool. Today, Atizigi gets the nod ahead of the two. Jerome Opoku opens up wide to Gideon Mensah, who finds Kamaldeen Sulemana. Ball back to Jerome Opoku. Atizigi now on the ball. Decides to go long, trying to find Jordan Ayew. Jordan brought down, but the referee says no infringement in there. Game continues with the Wales. Da Silva, who finds a Thomas. Thomas being held down by Mervin Senaya. Foul. Free kick goes to Wales. Mervin also competing for that right back row with the likes of Ali Seidu, Ethan Ampedu, Rondon. Was patiently building. And Dallo, together with Rondon at the back, have not really been tested. Gideon Mensah with that launch in there, but ball goes past him. Prince Kwabnedu comes back to tidy things. Long one in there. Back foul to Ghana. Prince plays his football in Czech Republic with Victoria Pilsen. A lot of people got excited with his display in the friendly games we played in the Caribbean Cup, and also our European tour where we took on Austria and Germany. Jerome Opoku going back to Atizigi, who sends this one long, trying to find Prince Kwabnedu. Ball nearly bounced. And fell kindly to Prince Kwabnedu. But Rondon showing his experience in there. Wales dominating possession. Work with the pressing started, a bit for Ghana, but it looks like we've slowed down a bit with that. Gideon Mensah committing another foul in a very dangerous area. It's not been easy for him. Nico Williams coming from that right back row. And Gideon has been a bit ragged in the first 26 minutes.
Yeah, I think he got a bit of Nico Williams there. Definitely a foul. But perhaps the frustration comes from the fact that you know as a football fullback when you're struggling with your winger and you're just not finding solutions against the pace of Daniel James at the moment. And so perhaps that has led to his frustration there. But, Ghana need to be careful. They haven't dealt with set pieces very well so far. I think about 2 or 3 of the shots on target that we've seen from Wales came from set pieces.
Thomas on the ball, sends in a long free kick. This time Rondon goes up. but heads over the crossbar. Goal kick to Ghana. Keith Moore, very experienced player for Wales. He was instrumental in the qualifiers. This time heading over the crossbar. Goal kick to Ghana. Mervyn Senaya, so far so good for the Auxerre player who was also invited by Togo when we were playing our friendly games against Austria and Germany, but decided to represent the Black Stars.
Yeah, I mean, if it were you and you had the opportunity to play at a World Cup and there was Togo, I'm not sure you make a different decision. I don't think anyone else would make a different decision in the same shoes.
Let's see how things go for him. He's part of the final 26 players that will be representing Ghana at the World Cup. Big one for him. Ball to Dallo. Almost giving it away. Jordan, are you with an opportunity? This should have been the opener. It was a gift to Jordan. I think it was surprised a bit that Dallo actually played this one to him, but Jordan could have done better in that instance, Oracle.
Yeah, it's a difficult angle, to be fair. I would have thought he would have been more composed and tried to turn around and see what his options are. But then again, in that split second, you're probably not thinking about that. And it's just like 1% of professional footballers who would be that composed. But I mean, it's a reward for his hard work, his press, good chance, good opportunity. Probably should have reacted a bit faster or more composed. But at the end of the day, it's a chance that goes begging.
Clearly, Greg Bellamy not happy with the Dallo gifting Jordan that ball. And these days, our best bets to scoring goals in the Black Stars has come from Jordan Ayew. Scored about 7 goals leading up to the World Cup in the qualifiers recently. Germany, Austria friendly. Jordan got that goal against Austria, and he will be looking at getting goals at the World Cup. Poor ball from Kamaldeen Sulemana goes out of touch, but Carlos Queiroz would applaud. I'm sure he's happy with what he's seen in the last 5 minutes, where there's been some form of urgency to the Black Stars. The pressing has been good.
It's the second time Kamaldeen has tried that crossfield pass that went straight out of touch. Needs to do better in those situations.
Thomas Partey easily into the books of the referee. Give the referee no option than to flash that yellow card with that lunging tackle, trying to take the ball off Dan James.
He's causing trouble wherever he goes. He comes central, and now it's Thomas Partey who is having a headache. If you're a Ghana player, you don't want Daniel James near your position at the moment. He's causing havoc everywhere.
Dan James causing a lot of havoc. Thomas Partey, one of Ghana's best midfielders at the moment, has not played so many games for Villarreal, but we'll be looking at stamping his authority when we go to the World Cup. 32 years of age, this could be his last World Cup with the Black Stars. Remember, Partey made his debut for Ghana in 2016. He's played 58 matches so far, scored 16 goals in the process, and is a key part of the team. Free kick to Wales, 31 minutes played. Let's see what they make out of this. Well, beautifully placed, and ball passed back. It's been blocked. Good one from Prince Kwabnedu to ensure the ball doesn't go past the wall. But it goes back to Wales. Dallo on the ball. Finds Lolo, who finds Da Silva from the left. Fatai Sahaku pressing back. Wales will always go back to their goalkeeper to restart the game. Lalo again, a long one, trying to find Dan James, who comes infield. But Gideon Mensah with that last ditch tackle. Clearly not a back pass there. It was Brooks who made that ran from midfield, nearly caught the Black Stars defense unaware, but it was good play from Gideon Mensah to get a touch on the ball. Ball goes up again. Comfortable there for Wales. We've not seen much of Prince Kwabena in the attacking areas. It's been his defensive duties that have been highlighted more in this game.
Yeah,
And I'm sure the position would also play a part. But it looks like there's been a change of position. Kamaldeen Sulemana has moved out wide, and he has rather moved in infield. More of a 4-4-2 now from coach Carlos Queiroz. Jordan, are you coming back there? Jonas Ajete finds goalkeeper Lawrence Atizigi. He goes long, trying to locate Prince Kwabena, but headed out. Kamaldeen Sulemana, a player with immense quality and would also be looking at doing a lot for the Black Stars. Kwabena moved a yard too early, offside.
and I think for Prince, this is probably on you to him. He's playing in a hybrid role where we've seen him play as a number 9, he's played as a 10, he's played as an 11. It's almost like 3 different roles in 30 minutes. And I don't know whether that is to Queiroz responding to what Wales are doing or that was part of the initial plan, but he's slotted back into his number 10 role now, just slightly behind Jordan in the attack.
If you're a staunch follower of the Ghana Premier League 2015-2016, Prince Kwabena Bechem United, the moment he gets onto the ball, you know that he would be a star. Marvin Senaya dealing very well with Thomas. Unlike Gideon, who has had a lot of trouble with the pacey Dan James, Marvin has been pretty solid at right back so far. Wales still on the ball. Da Silva finds Ethan Ampedu. Back to Da Silva, who finds Lolo. Goes into the middle to Sheenan and ball now back to Rondon. Nico Williams. Well, stringing their passes together very well. The Black Stars so far have slowed down in terms of their pressing. That is a true ball by Gideon Mensah. Spots the danger and clears his line. Now with Kudus not part of the squad, a lot of people are asking where that creativity would come from in the team.
I think it's time for the wide men to step up. We saw Fatawu Issahaku start this game brilliantly, but I think he's dissipated a bit as the game wore on. Not due to any fault of his, but he's just not seen enough of the ball between minutes 12 to now. And so he's just not been able to really impact the game. I think our wide men, the likes of Fatawu Issahaku, Enes Nuama, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Bonsuba, Inaki Williams, to some extent, Semenyo, all of them need to step up with the goals and assists to be able to alleviate, losing someone like Mohamed Kudus.
Let's see how it goes. Ghana coming forward with Elisha. Ball with Kamaldeen Sulemana, Castle to his right and Alicia shots, but deflected and not much power behind that ball. Dalo with a comfortable save. You want Kamaldeen Sulemana in those positions where he can cut onto his right and try to bend the ball. But this time, he didn't get enough. It was actually deflected by Nico Williams, and it fell kindly to goalkeeper Dalo. 36 minutes of play at the Cardiff City Stadium in Wales. It is Wales goalless. Black Stars goalless, no goals to see here. Wales could have easily taken the lead, but for the heroics of Atizigi, this game is still barren. Gideon Mensah with that beautiful control to ensure ball doesn't get to Dan James. Finds Kamaldeen Sulemana back to Gideon Mensah. Sends a long one trying to find Prince Kwabena. Flex on the ball but goes out of touch. Well, referee says last touch came off the Wales defender, so it's a throw into Ghana. Kamaldeen has a lot to prove He plays his football with Atalanta in the Italian Serie A. Started pretty well, but has so far not shown enough. But in this game, he's showing his quality. 1-2 with Jordan Ayew come out. This Sulemana with that left cross, but he's being blocked by Nico Williams. So if Dan James is giving Gideon Mensah a lot of headache, I'm sure Nico Williams was also finding a bit of difficulty with Kamaldeen Sulemana. He seemed to have burst into life in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's growing into the game now, and you can see he's charging up the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Ghana getting into the game a lot more.
And that is what we want to see. Corner kick to Ghana, our first in this game. Jordan Ayew, always on corner kick duties. Players like Jerome Opoku would be very instrumental in the air. Ball sent in, but Rondon gets a touch on the ball as it goes out of touch. Throw in to Ghana. It was a beautifully floated ball in by Jordan Ayew, but the experienced Rondon spotted the danger behind him as he flicked off the ball. Jordan Ayew made his debut for the Black Stars in 2010. He so far played 119 goals, scored a total of 34 goals in return for the team. Another corner kick to the Black Stars, this time won by Prince Kwabilo Edu. Jordan will be playing his third World Cup because he was part of the 2014 team, 2022, and also 2026. He has been named in the squad. So the most experienced player in the ranks for Ghana. Ghana's second corner kick in this game, 38 minutes of play. Jordan not so to effect this one. It is, okay, Jordan back on duty, sends the ball in. Again, it's a tussle in there. Jerome Opoku tried to head it goals, but it's been blocked for Taisa Aku. With that tricky there, can he go past his man? No is the answer. Ball still with Ghana. Mervyn Senaya tries to have a goal, but ball way off targets. And this will come as a relief to Wales.
For a second, I'm sure Senaya saw his name in the headline. So that was audacious on his weak foot from 40 or 30. Okay, maybe like what, 30 yards. Yeah, it looks about 30 yards there. There's absolutely no way.
And that would have been a good introduction for him. I mean, to tell Ghanaians that I can score.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes you need to try your luck.
Of course. It's always best that you try your luck in games like this. It boosts your confidence. So far, so good for the Black Stars who have turned up the heat in the last 5 minutes. Ajeti finds Mervyn Senaya. Senaya goes back to Ajeti, who hits his long. Tussle between Kwabena and Sheeman, but Sheeman comes up on top. Ball now with Lolo. Finds Thomas. He's had to deal with the strength of Mervyn Senaya in this first 40 minutes. Not been an easy one for him. But still, Wales on the ball. Nico Williams out wide. Sends the ball to Thomas, who was trying to go down the middle, but ball being cut out by Jordan Ayew. But still, Wales recycle possession and are trying patiently to draw the Black Stars out of their shelf. It's not been an easy one because the Black Stars have been very compact, especially in the middle and at the back. But Wales coming forward with Ethan and Pedu. Beautiful play there. Thomas on the ball being pursued by two players. Sends the ball back. But that challenge from Thomas Partey.
Mutala, should I tell you what? If that was a competitive match, I think Partey is off. If that was a competitive match, I think Thomas Partey would be off.
Thomas Partey there stretching, trying to get the ball, but he rather got Brooks. And clearly you can see Ethan and Pedu drawing the attention of the referee that this is a second yellow card. As
Yeah, but
Rico said, in a
it's a
competitive game.
friendly game, so you probably want to test your players at the best. So, but I think this is a clear second yellow card. It's reckless, denied a good opportunity for Wales. This is nowhere near the ball. This is for a player as experienced as Partey, you would expect better. And that's the replay of his first yellow card.
Oh, Thomas Partey, maybe he's a bit rusty. We need to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not played enough games for VRL in recent times, but still a very brilliant midfielder.
I'll be surprised if he comes out of the tunnel for the second half.
Oh, let's see what happens because the other players on the bench, like Kelly Brenchui, who is also looking at getting in there, the likes of Kwesizibo would all want to get onto the pitch for the second 45 minutes. But free kick to Wales, Lawrence Atizigi organizing the war, and on the floor is Prince Kwabena Edu, who tried to ensure the ball doesn't go beneath, pass him under the wall. Let's see what happens. Free kick to Wales. Nico Williams and Brooks behind the ball. Can Ghana prevent this one? It is Brooks who goes with the shot, but the wall does his job. Ball still with Wales. And Marvin Senaya throws his body in the way of that shot from Keith Moore to prevent the ball getting to Atizigi. Thomas Partey with that poor touch. Ball goes to Ethan Ampedu. Laula with that ball, trying to find Rondon. Very patient display from Wales at the moment. Ghana wins possession. Fatai Shahaku on the ball. Can Ghana get the opener before halftime? Fatai Shahaku tries to feed Thomas Partey, but that touch, Gideon Mensah sends in the cross. Prince Kwabena Edu. Shot comes in, but brilliant save from Dallo.
Senaya tried again.
Mervyn Senaya tried the first time, ball flew way over the crossbar. This time, it was a deflected effort of Thomas, and Dallo had to pull off this save. If not, Ghana would have been up by a goal to nil. Third corner came for the Black Stars. 44 minutes of play so far. The Oxerman so far has displayed some good performance at right back. Jordan Ayew says in the corner kick, player down. But the referee says there was an infringement in the 1 minute of other time. That would have been some goal and some introduction for Mervyn Senaya.
Well, if we go back to geometry class and your first effort flies way over the bar and your second effort just under the bar saved by the goalkeeper, then his third effort could see us celebrating. It's surprising to see we're saying this about a right back.
Yeah.
He's probably been Ghana's biggest threat going forward, maybe alongside Jordan, who's also had 2 efforts.
Not been a bad display from the Auxerre man, who some few months ago was also invited by the Togolese national team, but he decided to choose the Black Stars ahead of Togo, and today he's part of the final squad for the World Cup, playing against Wales in this friendly. Very important, but the referee brings the first half to a close. Goalless at the break. No goals to record at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's been a good one. Wales starting the better of the two sides, creating all the chances. Lawrence Atizigi has had his topmost best and made that fantastic save to deny Dan James the opener. Gideon Mensah struggled a bit coming up against Dan James, but towards the tail end of the game, he was able to defend his lines. Will Carlos Queiroz be happy with the first half display? So far, Jerome Opoku and Jonas Ajete have also not been bad, holding their own, knowing that There's no Salisu, and also there's no Jiku. Goalless at the break. First 45 minutes has ended. Ghana against Wales.
It stands between Wales and Ghana. And there you have the statistics from the first half. Wales arguably have been more dominant and have more of the ball, created better after opportunities, with Lawrence Atizigi being pulled into two world-class saves. There you would be seeing some of the highlights from the first half there. Wales, arguably the biggest opportunity of the half, Danny James' header clawed out of the net by Lawrence Atizigi. That was early in the first half there. And so we'll be taking a look more about the first half of the Carlos Queiroz era. No between Ghana and Wales, but a lot to learn and pick from. We'll be talking about all of that right after this break here on TVT. Welcome back from the break. We're still live here on TV3. It's our live coverage for the match between Wales and Ghana. It's 0-0 currently at halftime. And just to remind you that you should pack your bags because two people are actually going for the FIFA World Cup. You don't want to lend me your ears here. And there will actually be the opportunity for two more tomorrow and two more the day after. Now, this is the Black Stars Support World Cup raffle. And for just 10 Ghana cedis, you could win a full World Cup experience package, which includes your return flights, your accommodation, and match tickets to not just one, but all three of Ghana's group games against Panama, England, and Croatia. Now, there are also daily consolation prizes as well. In case you do not win the trip, you would get cash to your mobile money wallet, you get autographed Black Star jerseys, VIP fan park tickets, and then airtime, data bundles, and more. Every ticket is your vote for the Black Stars, and your shot at being there to support the national team Now, this is how you can participate. Take your phones and dial star 899 hash, star 899 hash on MTN, Telecel, or Airtel Tigo. Just 10 Ghana cedis per ticket. The more you buy, the better your chances. Two winners every day. Ghana to the world. Dial star 899 hash or visit ghworldcupraffle.com. Remember that your ticket is waiting. We'll go for a quick break before we come back, and then we hear from my gentlemen in studio about their thoughts on the first hour. Welcome back from the break. You're still live here on live coverage for the game between Wales and Ghana. Currently 0-0. We're just a few minutes away from second half kickoff. But let me come to you, Sami. What has been your overall thoughts of the Black Stars so far?
This was like an American football scrimmage, you know, when they put 11 players behind the ball to defend. And that's how it looked like in the first part of the first half. No different from an Otuado match. But I said that success will be not conceding. Now that we have tested that and shown we can go forward with 2 shots on goal, we should make the necessary changes and then give the players the freedom to now attempt to attack. Because for me, once you sort out your defense, then you can explore. And I think the coach's character is defensive, and that's what he showed.
Well, Augustine, you said that the aim is not to lose.
Yes.
They've done that in the first half. What do they have to do more to ensure?
We've been able to hold on, but we've not been brilliant. And I think that I made mention of system of play. You saw the players on the field, but our system that we're implementing, I didn't really know until he made further changes to the system. And then we saw Edu Kobna come in and then come out in on the left side. I hope that, like Sami said, you've seen them, how they play. So come out and let's see what we are capable of doing. Some players should come and play this match. It is just a friendly match. We shouldn't allow the results to be a hindrance in a way of bringing other players on to come and exhibit what they have.
Okay, and so there you can see last-minute tactics being passed on. Expected. Kwesi Sebok comes in for Thomas Partey, and just as I told Mutala, I would be surprised if the Villarreal midfielder had come on for the second half after his rather reckless challenge there.
Carlos Queiroz at the moment. It looks like Brandon Thomas Asante and Kwesi Zibo are being introduced into the game. Brandon had a great season with Coventry in the English Championship, even helped them to qualify. That was a big one for them. And the Accra Hearts goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari, would also be coming on. Some substitutions there from coach Carlos Queiroz. So Kwesi Zibo, as Oreku mentioned in the first half, replacing Thomas Partey in there. That is the first change that was effected. Benjamin Asari also coming in for Watizigi, and Brandon Thomas Asante also coming on. So second 45 minutes about to start. There you have the man who is currently the talk of town, Antoine Semenyo. Second half on the way. Black Stars goes long, but Wales in the same shape again. Dan James showing pace. And Carlos will be hoping that these changes that he's made would have an effect. Prince Kwabena Edu also coming off for Brandon Thomas Asante. And we understand that Ernest Nuama has also come on for Fatah Isahaki.
Fun fact for Nuama, if he lasts the entirety in the second half, that will be more minutes that he's played this season for Lyon. He's only managed about 31 minutes of action due to his injury. Only returned in March.
Had a lengthy layoff, but then he's back. Wales trying to start the same way they did in the first half, but then Black Stars showing strength. I think that was too much power there from Elisha. Referee deems that as illegal. Yeah, too much power there to bring Nico Williams down. And a lot of people will be hopeful to see what Brandon Thomas Asante does. Scored 13 goals in all competition for Coventry. in 32 matches. Coventry City qualifying for the Premier League next season. So Brandon will be playing in the Premier League. But first and first, has to help the Black Stars of Ghana conquer Wales, then go on to do good things at the World Cup. Came in for Prince Kwabena, showing great urgency there. That is Wales who are putting their passes together beautifully. Thomas tries to find his captain, Ethan Ampedu. It was too much, but Da Silva with that beautiful control there. So far, the same shape, style that Wales started the first half has been introduced. Some 4 changes for the Black Stars, none for Wales at the moment. But they are still controlling the tempo of the game. Lala with that ball to find Brooks in there. Brooks coming forward, but that is a beautiful tackle from Kamaldeen Sulemana. Ball out wide by Elisha to Jordan, who is confronted by Rondon. Jordan Ayew calmly brings the ball back to Gideon Mensah. Gideon goes back to Jerome, who also finds Ajete. Mervyn Senaya. Jerome on the ball now. Opens up wide to Ghana's left back. Gideon, who tries to go long back. Ball's been cut short as Wales regain possession. Ball back to their goalkeeper, Dallo. It looks like it was a wayward pass, but Da Silva has been able to recover. Currently, Enes Yama behind him. Mervyn Senaya winning that header. Pesisivo couldn't get there ahead of time as Dallo picks out the ball and finds Rondon. Ball back to Dallo again. Another pass that looks a bit wayward, and Dallo's leaving dangerously. In the first half, he gifted Jordan Ayew one. Strong tackle from Thomas. And the referee whistles for a foul on Mervyn Senaya.
Got both the ball and the man. Just a bit too strong there from Thomas.
Strong tackle from Thomas. So Ghana restarts play. So far, Jerome and Ajete have not really put a foot wrong. Long ball from Jerome to Jordan. First touch. Let him down there.
Unlike the first half, Jordan hasn't made a stick just yet. But that was a good run and a good pass from Jerome Opoku. It was an opportunity for Ghana to exploit the unusually high line of Wales in that moment.
And game continues in earnest. Kamaldeen Sulemana now playing more wider than the first half, where he was drifting consistently into the middle. Brought down. Seemed to be some form of pain by the referee. Whistles play on. Brandon goes up. Carlos Queiroz keenly watching on to see if the changes that he made would have an impact on the team. Mervyn Senaya, so far, been brilliant. And Rick, I was talking about Jerome and Ajete not putting their foot wrong in the game we've seen.
I think they've been good. They've defended generally well. That was loose from Kwesi Sibo, but wonderfully retrieved from Elisha Owusu. But I think the pairing of Jonas Ajete, who just gave the ball away,
and I think Oreku just suffered the commentator's curse.
I just had to keep quiet in that
Just when he praised Ajete, then he gives that ball away, but he's been able to regain possession for Ghana. Gideon Mensah, I'm sure at a point in this game, we may see the return of Abdul Baba Rahman, who's been out for 3 years. Currently plays for Park. Benjamin Asari, who was Ghana's #1 during the qualifiers. Recently was in post when we took on Mexico, where we lost by 2-0. Today he has had to come on and substitute Loris Artizigi, who made a fantastic save in the first half, but was coming forward beautifully. Referee says Jordan Ayew got a bit of the ball, not the foul on Chiman. Long one there. Goalkeeper Dallo had to come out because Brandon Thomas Asante was chasing down that ball.
He's calling for calm. I think Ghana are just trying to play that through pass a bit too soon. In the last 15 minutes of the first half, we saw a lot more composure, a lot more passing. But this second half is the reliance on long balls has just been too much.
Brandon Thomas Asante, his coach Frank Lampard, described him as a super sub. He made his debut for Ghana in 2024. He's played 5 games so far and he scored 1.
The Unity Cup against Nigeria. I
Yeah.
remember that goal.
And he'll be hoping that he would get some more goals for Ghana when we go to the World Cup. Kamaldeen Sulemana, a lot to be on his shoulders with the absence of Mohamed Kudus.
Let me ask you something. Bar Thomas Partey, who was at risk of a red card, Thomas Asante, Nuama, Sibo, those 3 changes, what do they mean to you?
It means that coach wants to bring some form of steel, especially in the middle there, and wants to try something new up front with Brandon Asante, because it was more of Jordan who was playing as a number 9. This time he's playing more of a number 10 with Brandon Asante rather as the number 9. But Nyama on the ball now. And it's Nyama goes past Thomas. He's brought down, but referee says that it was a clean tackle from Thomas. Senaya, sorry. There were some protests from some of the Ghanaian players. Now, Senaya has to get back because Wills are coming forward with Brooks there. Sends in the cross. Ball loose. Everyone. Almost an own goal from Gideon Mensah in his attempt to prevent the ball from getting to Dan James. But it looks like goalkeeper Benjamin Asari had it covered. But Gideon is very fortunate that this one went wide. Did Asari really get attached to the ball? It looks like he got a tip to this one. Corner kick to Wales. Game still goalless at the Cardiff City Stadium. Gideon Mensah. Wales go short with Brooks and Da Silva coming in. Thomas sends in that cross. Kamaldeen with that defensive duty. Another cross in there. Ball falls to Thomas. Brings it back and takes the shot by Jonas Ajete. Again.
Once again.
Being that shield. So far, he's made about 3 crucial blocks. And that has been good.
Once again, Ghana struggling with Wills and the ingenuity from set pieces. When they play short and move it around like that, the Black Stars haven't been able to react.
Thomas on the cross now. Corner kick to Wales, 55 minutes played, goalless. Sends in a long one. Again, Jonas Ajete getting something on that ball. Throw in to Wales, Dan James picks this one up. Carlos Queiroz, his first game in charge of the Black Stars. We'll be looking at some players for inspiration. Ghana's bench still has some quality that he can call on, because there's Kajol Pompepra, Abdul Baba Rahman, Abdul Mumin, Derek Lucasen is also there, Alidu Seidu Nyaki Williams, Christopher Bonsuba, Caleb Irenchi, Antoine Semenyo, and Augustin Boache all on the bench. And I'm sure at a point in this game, all these players will have a few of QS's first game. Throwing to Ghana, Senaya to Kwasi Zibo, back to Senaya. He finds Ajiti, who goes back to his goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari. Plays this one long. Jordan failed to control the ball. Brooks now. Will's coming forward dangerously. Brooks. That some clearance from Jerome Opoku. And he did brilliantly to ensure he gets the ball, another man.
Once again, the ball is not sticking up front to Jordan the second half, and that is, making Ghana really struggle to move up the pitch. And the effect of that is now the defense is under a lot of pressure, and yet another corner kick conceded.
Brooks behind the ball. One of Jordan's best quality has to be his hold-up play, but so far in this game, it's not really shown. Captain of the side, currently having a word from the referee. Ghana to defend this set piece. Jordan on Thomas. Brooks behind the ball. Sends this one in. A low cross, poor corner kick, cleared by Gideon Mensah. Throwing quickly effected. Will's still coming forward. Gideon shows quality there with that great strength. Ball back to Gideon. Hits it long. Trying to find Jordan. Jordan with that control, but it's been cut out. But Ghana still regains possession. Long one from Elisha there to find Ernest Nyama. Ernest Nyama goes out wide to find Senaya bad. Offside in there. Senaya ran too early.
It has to be faster there from Rama. You can see from the signals of Senaya there, it was a good opportunity for Rama there. Good 2v1 opportunity to be able to get across in there. But my bigger issue there was that even if Senaya was onside, Ghana barely had one man in the box. And so, I mean, it would have been extremely difficult to be able to pick out across one striker against about 4 defenders. Jordan needs to be up there with Kamal Dean and Thomas Asante, especially when the ball is coming in from the right-hand side there.
Of course, and we'll need a lot of inspiration, especially from players like Jordan, to get into the box.
Speaking of Kamal Dean Suleiman, I think he's been subbed off.
Yep. Some substitutions are for both sides. Wales bringing on men, and Ghana also bringing on men. Calibre and Chi. Recently, under departed head coach Otuado, he was playing as a right back. It looks like under Carlos Queiroz, it is clear he will be in his natural position, which is the midfield. The likes of Kumas all coming in for Wales. Brooks going off at the moment. Caleb.
I think Caleb came on for Elisha Wusu, and then Christopher Bonsuba also coming on for Kamal Dean Sulemana. So it's more or less like a straight swap. Bonsuba, I think, stays on the left wing, a position where he's become accustomed to Al Katia, where he's played as a left wing back. And so Queiroz would rely on his creative powers, finished with 12 assists in the Saudi League. We'll be relying on that in this game and beyond.
Of course, Cameron Congreve came on for Dan James, and Louis Comas also came on for Keith Moore. Then we had Nathan Goodhead also taking the place of Dan Brooks. And Ghana also bringing on Kelly Brinchi and Christopher Bonsuba, who plays his football in Saudi Arabia. Back four still remains unchanged at the moment. And Bonsuba's first involvement is to win the foul for Ghana. By the way, one of Ghana's opponents at the World Cup, Croatia, were involved in the friendly game earlier today. They were beaten by Belgium by 2-0. Maybe that could be some form of iota of inspiration for Ghana. They had the likes of Luka Modric all represent. Cross sent in by Enes Nyama. Kwesi Zibo's first touch was poor there. Referee says play on Marvin Senaya. Ball with Enes Nyama. Enes Nyama trying to cut onto his left, but goes out wide to Senaya. Marvin Senaya against Da Silva. Senaya's cross is deflected out for another corner kick for the Black Stars. Mervin so far has been able to find himself in very good positions.
Yeah.
Especially when he's overlapping and allowing his wingers to cut in.
I think he showed a lot of running power and ambition on that right wing, and it's interesting how he's been able to develop telepathy with the likes of Atawa and Nuama because they're left-footed and would love to cut inside.
Another corner kick, Jerome Opoku Ajete in the box. A ball sent in by Jordan. Heads go up. This time, I think it is Ajete who got the connection, but it was lacking accuracy as the ball flew over the crossbar. That would be some form of confidence booster for the young defender and Carlos Queiroz. In recent times, Black Stars have done well with set pieces, especially in the qualifiers where we scored a lot.
Yeah, I think you look back at that and say that was a good chance. It was a good chance, and he had a very good leap. Probably as the contact points of where the ball hit his head, and that ensured that the ball ended up looping over the bar. But it was a very, very good opportunity, and Ghana have threatened from corners in this game as well.
That has been Ghana's bets to scoring goals in this game from set pieces, which is really crucial when you're playing a tournament like the World Cup. As Didier Deschamps would always say, being good with the set pieces is always a blessing. But Ghana there with some confusion and chaos in the box. Nico Williams looking towards the referee for a foul, but the referee waves play on. It was Kwesi Zibo that came in with that tackle, but in the end, the referee judged that as legal. No infringement in there.
His second touch there, he probably had lost the ball, and the ref's interpretation would be he didn't have control of the ball. And so perhaps that's why that wasn't considered as a penalty. But it's a close shave.
And I'm sure Sibo will learn a lot from this in this day of VAR. Players would be making the sign that the referee needs to go and review. And at the World Cup, VAR would really be at the center
Very involved
of affairs. Da Silva for Wales goes out wide to Thomas, being confronted by Senaya. Senaya with another good block there. Ethan Ampedu has the ball back. Wales trying to cut open that Black Stars defense. Ethan Ampedu, currently one of the most decorated players in this Wales team. He's played 61 times for them, yet to score a goal. Ghana coming forward with Enes Nyama. Big opportunity for the Black Stars. Enes Nyama casting on to his left. But that is a goal. That is a goal. Caleb Richi gives the Black Stars the lead. After that superb solo run from Enes Nyama. 65 minutes played at the Cardiff City Stadium. Caleb Richi coming off the bench to give the Black Stars this lead. Wales have been dominating the game, but it is the Black Stars who opened the scoring. That is a good one for the young man who has been touted as the next big thing. Ghana 1, Wales 0.
This is all about the hard work of the ball. Ghana wins the ball and immediately throws bodies forward. And it's all about Enes Nyama here. Just look at that drop-off shoulder there. He probably should have finished the chance off, and Urenchi also should have finished the rebound off. But it's just reward for committing bodies forward and ensuring that you're able to get the rebounds. And in the end, I think on the balance of things, Ghana probably deserve to take the lead in the second half. Wales just haven't been the same side in the first half. And I think the changes have made a difference. And Ghana lead by 1-0.
Caleb Renchi there. There you see the coaches, the technical staff of the Black Stars exchanging pleasantries, and joy in the fans. The hundreds of Ghanaians who are at the Cardiff City Stadium are in ecstasy mood, seeing the Black Stars take the lead against Wales. Caleb Renchi started his football journey with the Right to Dream Academy, currently playing in Denmark for Nordsjælland. Played 11 games for the Black Stars, and this is his first goal for the senior national team. It is scary to know that he is just 20 years of age. It looks like there's some form of urgency in the Black Stars play with the new substitutions that came on. But you look at the goal again, everything started with Caleb Renchi. That 1-2 he played with Ernest Nuama was brilliant.
Yeah, and it's just interesting to see how the two of them just literally carry the ball from midfield. And these guys have an average age of what? Like 19.5 years. These two guys literally carried the ball from the center circle and ensure that they gave Ghana the lead there. 2 second-half substitutes combining, Carlos Queiroz would be a happy man.
Of course, Gideon Mensah with that cross in. Header comes in, but Jerome Opoku did not get enough power on that one. And it went straight to goalkeeper Dallo. I think he was surprised the ball got to him, and he wasn't really prepared for that. Big opportunity for Ghana to make it 2-0. But as it stands, the Black Stars are leading by 1-0. Good one there. Caleb Renchi opening the scoring. Wales all trying to come out. Hard. Ethan Ampedu, sorry. Ball with Da Silva. Ampedu again pushes out wide to Comas. Wales have been very dominant, had the lion's share of possession in this game. That is the Black Stars who take the lead. Game still very much open. Wales coming forward again. Kwesi Zibo with another tackle this time. Referee judges this as illegal. Free kick to Wales. And Zibo would also want to be careful not to attract any booking. Wales on the ball now. Coming forward with Cameron Congreve. Ball with Nico Williams. He finds Rondon. Rondon finds his partner, Thomas, at the moment. Kumas coming forward with Da Silva. Ethan Ampedu, the captain of the side. Nico Williams sends in the cross. Ajete fails to deal with this one, sorry. And Kumas nearly getting the equalizer for Wales. It looks like Ajete misjudged the flight of the ball this time.
I think he completely lost his man there. And Kumas should be doing better.
That was a big opportunity for Wales to tie this at 1-1. Kumas, I'm sure Greg Bellamy would be very disappointed that he couldn't hit the target. That was a cross from Nico Williams. And it looks like Benjamin Asari had this covered back. His kick is a poor one. Currently, Wales are knocking on the door to get that equalizer. Congreves losing out to Gideon Mensah. Christopher Bonsuba. Good work there to find Brandon Thomas Asante. His hold-up play since he came on has been great. But now back with Jerome, who finds Ajete. Pushes out wide to Senaya. Tries to play the 1-2 with Ernest Yama. It comes off beautifully with Ernest Yama coming forward. Again, ball falls to Brandon Thomas Asante. Opportunity for the Coventry City man to get another goal for the Black Stars. This time, his left-footed effort was wide off the target. But this was another massive chance for the Black Stars.
Senaya and Norma have been on the same wavelength aside that run that saw him go offside. Since then, it's almost been telepathic there. And they've managed to create yet another opportunity perhaps Brandon Thomas Asante would feel he had to do better there. But once again, it's the impact of the substitutions from Carlos Queiroz. There's just a different energy attached to the counter attacks from Team Ghana now.
More substitutions will be made. And the man that many were talking about and were hoping that would have a good World Cup, Iñaki Williams, it looks like he'll be coming on. Jerome Opoku looks to be struggling a bit. But it's Ghana who are leading Wales by a goal to nil. Some 18 minutes left to play at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's just a friendly game, but a win for Ghana would be very important as they are heading into the World Cup. Coach Carlos Queiroz, this is his first game in charge of the team. He was not available for that Mexico game. But Congreve sensing the cross there. Benjamin Asare, calm, cool, collected. Straight into his arms. It looks like there's a change in tactics for the Wales team. They are now sending in a lot of crosses from both flanks.
Yeah, I think the new striker, Comas number 9, very, very tall striker, adept in the air as well. Has already had one opportunity that he failed to put away. Clearly, they want to give him as many chances in the air as possible. And perhaps at halftime, they realized that he could fancy his chances against either Jonas or Jerome in the air.
So, Jerome currently off receiving treatment.
So Caliber slotted into centre back.
Kelly Brenchi has joined Ajete as centre back. Wills still on the ball, trying to cut open that Black Stars defense. Nico Williams. Nico still with the ball, finds his captain, Amped. Ball with Da Silva, who sends in the cross. Again, ball eludes the defense. Comas couldn't connect, too strong for him. And now some substitutions can be made by both sides. So Iñaki Williams being lined up there. And it would be very interesting to see who comes off. Jordan Ayew coming off for Iñaki Williams. So Gideon Mensah takes the armband. Iñaki has another opportunity, this time to impress in the Black Star shirts. And there's also Senaya, who is coming off. And like-for-like replacement, Ali Duseidu will be filling in at right back. Gideon Mensah is also one of the oldest members of the team. No matter how you look at it, he's played 31 games for the Black Stars. Was part of the 2022 World Cup squad.
Yeah.
And he takes the armband. Ali Duseidu,
I wonder what's happening on the touchline.
There seemed to be some form of miscommunication on the touchline because Senaya has already come off.
Has Ghana exhausted this window of substitutions?
So now
I think we need another window. Or they wasted time. Something strange has happened. And so for the second sequence in a row, Ghana will be playing with 10 men.
Yeah. So I'm sure at the moment, because the ball hasn't gone out of touch, Ghana will have to wait for that. So currently, NS Yama is filling in at right back. Iñaki Williams, always present and doing the business for Bilbao. But it's the Black Stars that he's not really hit the ground running. Big opportunity for him. His brother, Nico, is also part of the Spanish team that will be playing at the World Cup. And he will be playing for the Black Stars at 31 years of age as well. Ball sent in, but Sorry, guys, this one out. Iñaki also made his debut for the Black Stars ahead of the 2022 World Cup. He's also played 25 times for Ghana and he scored 2 goals. But for Bilbao, since 2014, he's played 407 games and scored 85 goals in the process.
Yeah, it's been a shadow, similar to the story of Antoine Semenyo.
Remember clearly asking Coach Otuado at the Barbaera Sports Stadium when Ghana took on Angola in that AFCON qualifier, that what would it take to get the best out of Inaki Williams? And he says that a lot of the work also depends on Inaki Williams. Today he's gotten the opportunity to get himself onto the score sheet ahead of the World Cup. Gideon Mensah. First few minutes he had huge problems with Dan James, but so far has been able to fill in and be composed. Bonsuba chases this one out, but Dalo comes off quickly and clears the ball out of touch. Greg Bellamy dishing out instructions to his boys. In terms of possession, they have been very decent. But as far as the most important statistics in football is concerned, it is Ghana who are leading. And it's Nyama with the trickery there. Some step overs coming up against Da Silva. And that excites the crowd at the Cardiff City grounds. Kwesi Zibo so far has been tidy in possession. But now with Christopher Bonsuba. Bonsuba has in finds Kelly Brinchi. Good play from the Black Stars. Putting passes together beautifully. Sibo finds Ajiti. Ball back with Benjamin Asari. And the crowd are whipped up at the Cardiff City Stadium. Excited with what they are seeing at the moment. That Ghana are controlling the tempo of the game. Can they hold on? Can the Black Stars hold on? A long one there, trying to find Iñaki Williams. Dalo again comes off his line. He's that this.
That's the 4th time he's done it.
4 times in this game.
That's the definition of a modern day goalkeeper.
That Jerome Opoku didn't come on again, and his place has been taken by Abdul Mumin, who is currently partnering Ajete at the back. So Abdul Mumin, who has also, endured a torrid season where he was out for the larger part of the season, recently returned to the Vallecano side today. He gets to play again. Sends in a long ball, trying to find Inaki Williams, but he's now offside. About 10 minutes of normal time remaining. Can the Black Stars get more goals? Can they hold on? That is the question at the moment. Cardiff City Stadium. We've been told by the Ghana Football Association Communications Director that it is likely the Black Stars will play one more friendly game before our first game against Panama on the 17th of June in Toronto. Panama recently played Brazil, where they lost by 6 goals to 2. So 2 of our opponents have lost their games, Panama and Croatia, and we are winning. It should be a huge confidence booster for us. Will's not giving up, still coming forward. Ethan Ampedu on the ball now. Being confronted by Kelly takes a shot, but it's blocked. Ghana have all 10 men behind the ball. Ethan Ampedu trying to find Kumas in there. Will stringing passes together beautifully. Ampedu goes left. Ball still with Wales. Nico Williams finds Ampedu. Wales dazzling in there. A cross comes in, but being dealt with by Ajete. Nico Williams still on the ball. Kelly tries to nick the ball off him, but Wales still very tidy in possession, not allowing the Black Stars to pour forward in their numbers as they've pinned Ghana in their own half in the last 2 minutes. A cross comes in. Christopher Bonsuba comes in and does a tidy job. Gideon Mensah, to nobody in particular, as Wales recycle possession and will pour forward again. Ghana, after getting the goal, has slowed down the tempo a bit. Kelly Brinchy showing strength there, but Wales still on the ball. There needs to be a bit of urgency in our game. Brandon Thomas Asante brought down.
Very good
by
free kick
Ampede.
there.
Yeah,
Gives the Ghanaian defense
intelligent free kick.
a chance to rest. They've been under the cosh in the past few minutes.
More substitutions for Wales. Clearly, they want to get the equalizer. Rondon coming off. And Da Silva as well. With Norton Davis coming on. And Andrews also replacing Rondon. Long ball to Ernest Nyama, showing a lot of pace, but that has been cleared. And Norton Davis, who just came on. Ernest Nyama plays for Lyon in France. Suffered an ACL injury. Had to sit out for longer periods. Only came back recently before the season ended, but was able to make it in time to be part of Carlos Queiroz' 26-man squad, because in the past he's shown a lot of quality and will be hoping to take this opportunity of showing some great performances at the World Cup. There you have it. After 3 years of not being with the Black Stars, Abdul Baba Rahman comes on and he takes the armband.
I think he's still the most experienced player. If you're looking at number of cups on the pitch with the players remaining, he still has the most number of cups, and so rightfully so.
You could see the big smile on Sami Bartels' face when Baba Rahman was just coming on. Abdul Baba Rahman, a man who clearly defies opinion, that one of the best left backs we've had in recent times. A lot of experience having played for clubs like Asante Kotoko, Dreams FC in Ghana, went on to Augsburg. Then he had that big money move to Chelsea in 2015. But that Chelsea move did not go as planned, as he suffered some setbacks with an injury that almost ended his football career. But he's found solace, he's found a new home in Greece, as he now plays for PAO. Since 2023, he's not been with the Black Stars. He's made 74 appearances for the national team. 52 appearances for the national team. Scored 1 goal in the process. And he's back with the team. He has about some 5 minutes to warm himself back into the national team. A good welcome for Abdul Baba Rahman.
Yeah, after 3 years, I think it's best to probably ease him back into the national team setup. And as I said, if you're probably combining all the caps of the players on the pitch, they wouldn't get to what Baba has. He has, I think, more than 50.
Yeah, he's played 52 times for the Black Stars and scored 1 goal in the process.
No one is close to that.
Taking the armband in place of Gideon Mensah. Clearly, we have an idea of how our left back competition would be. 2 players are fighting for that, Gideon and Baba. Too much force from Kelly Brinchy results in the foul for Wales. who are still pushing and are hopeful of getting the equalizer, but they have 4 minutes to do so. Ball goes out to Norton Davies, who finds Kumas in there. Sorry, Andrews, who just came on. Ethan Ampedu, formerly of Chelsea, now the captain of this Wales team. Congreve turns in the cross, but again, it's been defended brilliantly by Kelly Granchi. But Thomas Asante loses out in a very dangerous area.
Needs to be careful in those central areas.
Maybe you're going to meet some top quality at the World Cup, but it's a pinball in the area of Ghana and ball flies over the crossbar as Davies turn and try to have a dig at goal. His shots flying way off targets. Ghana survive, still leading by a goal to nil with 3 minutes to end. How important will this win be for Carlos Queiroz ahead of the World Cup?
I think it would be massive. It would be such a confidence booster, especially for a Black Stars team that hasn't won a game in months. It's been about 4 or 5 games since the Black Stars last won a game of football.
Our last 5 games have all ended in a defeat for us. But Enes Yama has brought in some energy. It looks like he's very, very direct. One that is not scared to take on the defenders. He doesn't even look back. Gets the ball and straight he runs at opponents.
It's the pace and trickery and the directness. That's what's been the difference.
Yeah.
In the second half.
Enes Nyama, big lad there. One whose ceiling is very high. A lot of people have tipped him to be a core part of the Black Stars and future. So far, so good for him. The World Cup could be a very, very important period for him to regain his form, and this would be his first World Cup because he was not part of the team that played the 2022 World Cup. Again, Wales coming close. A shot across goal. A header there, I think, from Kumas, which came off Ajete, and then Babaraman had to put it out of touch for a corner kick. So with about a minute to go, we're still pushing Congreve with the corner kick there. It's a tussle, but it looks to have come off Ethan Ampedu, and ball. It's a goal kick to Ghana. Huge sigh of relief for the Black Stars.
Once again, the threats from the corner, but they've just failed to make it count. They've never really tested Ashara in the second half. Came close a couple of occasions in the first half, but they've just not managed to get any meaningful chances in that second half. And kudos to you, Carlos Queiroz.
We are doing 5 minutes of other time at the Cardiff City Stadium as Wolves come forward with our JT stepping in, clearing everything that comes his way this evening. Still very young. One that the handlers of the Black Stars say has a lot to add to his game, and they're hoping that he will grow in confidence and ability as well. We'll send it across. This time it's Abdul Mumin who gets something on the ball. Still coming forward. It's all been Wales in the last 5 minutes. It's open up for Davies. He tries to be intelligent in there. But Ghana losing out on all the 50-50 balls at the moment. It's Wales who are creating all the chances, sending a lot of crosses into the box. With 4 minutes to end proceedings, the Black Stars will need to shut the door completely. And Pedro goes coming forward again. The shot comes in. Benjamin Asari. It looked like he had it covered. Flashes way off the crossbar. And no trouble for the Accra Heart of Oak #1, who could end up making history at the World Cup by becoming the first locally based goalkeeper to have minutes. 2006, the likes of Jojo, Sami Eje didn't play any part in there. 2010, we had the likes of Aholu and Daniel Eje also didn't get minutes. Then 2014, it was Stephen Adams who was with Diana. Then he also didn't get any minutes. 2022, Kumasi Asante Kotros Danlad was also there. 2026, we have Benjamin Asari. Can he be the first goalkeeper, locally based goalkeeper, to get minutes at the World Cup? We'll find out in a few days' time. But still, game continuing in earnest here with Wales trying to get the equalizer. That was a beautiful goal. Kumas with a beautiful header connecting from that Nico Williams cross to get the equalizer for Wales with about 2 minutes to end. And Oreku, you talked about the fact that there's been a change in tactics. A lot of crosses are being sent into the box. Kumas has tried several times, and this time he planted the ball beyond goalkeeper Benjamin Asari.
Yeah,
Abdul Baba Rahman failing to deal with Nico Williams in there. Nico getting past Baba Rahman and sending in that cross. And Kumas, I mean, there was nothing that goalkeeper Benjamin Asari could do on that occasion. But I think Ajete should have been strong in there.
Yeah, but Kumas is a strong striker. I mentioned earlier how he is very effective in the air, and that had affected Wales' strategy of crossing the ball inside the box. He makes a good opportunity when he crept into the blind side of Jonas Ajete. But this time he made it count.
Ghana coming forward again with a few minutes to end the game. Inaki Williams with that poor pass there to nobody in particular, Alidu Seidu. Regains possession for Ghana. Ajete opens up to Abdul Mohamed. Mohamed to Baba Rahman. Baba goes back to Abdul Mohamed. Ball with Ajete. He now finds Alidu Seidu. Ghana coming forward again. Alidu sends a long one, trying to find Inaki Williams. But a comfortable catch for goalkeeper Dallo. Loss of concentration one time at the back has given Wales an opportunity to level the score, and they are pushing forward with just seconds to end the game. Davis there. Ball back with Andrews. Wales all over with the shots in there, but it was a scarf effort. One that flew way. And that is the end of the game. Referee has blown his whistle. Ghana were just some 2 minutes away from recording their first friendly win in about 6 games. But unfortunately, a lack of concentration at the back allowed Kumas to level the score after Caleb Renchi had given the Black Stars the lead in the second half. Good exercise for Carlos